This is one of my older tank tops, and it's one of my favorites. It's an Old Navy. I don't know. Just kind of gives me more of a oomph. But anyway, we've got question and answer. Hold on a second. I actually don't know what. 34 right now. 34. So here we go. Do you prefer to thoroughly deliberate options or decisively draw conclusions, and why? I have learned not to jump to conclusions, not to assume the worst, and it's better to not deliberate too long over any decision, but decisively, from facts, not rumors, draw conclusions. Why? That's how life should be gone. Anyway, what's your pick? Hang glide, skydive, bungee jump, hot air balloon, or kite? No to the hang glide, because I'm scared of heights. No to skydiving, Bungee jumping, do I look like I'm insane? No. Hot air balloon sounds nice, but then again, you have to be off the ground. Kite, yeah, safe. When you find yourself in an argument, do you prefer to leave it and resolve it later, or stay and settle it right away? And why? You know, I don't think that you should ever go to bed angry. And it's always best that if you're angry for any reason, that you don't just, you know what, I'll come back to it. I'll get to it later. So it's always best to hash it out, but not over the phone, not over a text message or an email. Do it face to face. You have to have the verbal expressions to really punctuate what you want to say, and you have to have that, this is how I feel, by golly, and I'm going to get it expressed. And if you can't hear, there's a train going through. What is one of your favorite souvenirs brought back from your travels, and where do you keep it? I feel like I've answered this question many a times. I keep all of my souvenirs in my room that are mine, from travels. I have a rare collection, if you will. I've got teddy bears that mean a lot to me, and I keep only certain ones. I've got a dog that was my step-great-grandma's. It's actually a stuffed animal. It's a husky. She got it, I think, from going to Alaska, and she brought that back, and I was always, as a child, I loved that dog, and so when she passed, her kids asked all of us what we were wanting from her estate, and I said, just that dog, and they were like, we were going to give that to the Salvation Army. I said, I want that dog. I always bugged her about that dog, and I had to hug it when I was a kid, and it was just, it's just so cool. And I mean, just little things around the room I can look around and give you different stories on, but I want to get through these questions. Growing up, what was your favorite fairy tale or children's story, and why? I would have to say my favorite children's tale or storybook fairy tale was always Cinderella, because the ugliest girl, or so she thought, was put down by her two stepsisters and her stepmom, and she always felt like she wasn't pretty enough, not good enough, and that her day was never going to come. But much to her surprise, it did come, and the handsome prince came, and he just took her away. Anyway, love that story. What's your choice, jigsaw, crossword, or numeric puzzle? Crossword. I love crosswords. What's your favorite way to relax? Bird watch, butterfly collecting, flower hunting, shell gathering, or stargazing? Actually, all of those sound magnificent, and I wouldn't mind doing all of them. But I don't want to hurt the butterflies. I'd rather look at them rather than collect them. Same goes with flowers. I'd rather see them in their own natural environment. It's not something that you should always gather and take home. Shells, as long as they're not living and there's no environment in it, I'm okay. Stargazing, absolutely. I think that's awesome. Bird watching, yeah, why not? As long as I don't have to shoot any fowl, I don't like that. What is something you failed at? You know, failed is such a big word. I don't like to think of the word failed. I like to think of the word, we all make mistakes. We all go, oh man, and sometimes we do better. Sometimes we don't. I don't think, you can fail a test, yes, which I'm sure I've done before, but you know what? You learn from that experience. It makes you study harder next time. It makes you learn from that, and it makes you go forward. So that's what I'm going to say to that. When you think of really living and not merely existing, what comes to mind? Oh, that's a great question. When I think of really living, of course, when I was a little girl, you plan your life. At least I always did. I had like a life plan, and this is by this age this was going to happen, that was going to happen, yada yada. And so far, nothing's went according to plan. Just saying. But I'm not disappointed. It's just God's plan, and we're going to have to work together at some point. But really living to me would be a mom and a wife to the most amazing man ever. But I would just rather, if that I can't be a wife to the most amazing man ever, I can be a strong, independent woman, kick butt, take names, and be an adoptive mom just the same. What paradox or contradiction in life have you had to learn to accept or embrace? That happy endings are just in books and movies. They never happen in real life. And if they do, you hold on like hell and you make the most of it. And you don't make any mistakes. But in my case, it seems like that's all I do make. What do you hope will be your biggest lifetime contribution to society? I hope when people remember me and reflect upon my life that good memories come to mind, that moments when I made them feel important when no one else did, when I took time out, because the greatest gift you can give somebody is the gift of your time. From your schedule, be it a friend, be it a family member, it's time. And that's something you can't go to a store and purchase. That's something you can't take back. It's the gift of yourself to that person, whether it's an actual physical gift or just the gift of going to some place to eat and hang out. It's still the gift of your time. So I hope that people cherish the gift of time that I gave them. And what would be my biggest lifetime contribution to society? I really pray that I'm going to be blessed as a mom. So that would be my biggest contribution someday. Was there ever a time when your blood ran cold? Explain. Yes. I don't usually like to talk about it. When my parents broke up and we walked into the house where all the lights were off, my dog at the time, Lance, was put in the garage with no water, no food. My dad had just up and left. No note. We had no idea where he was. Of course, at that time, being so young, I was still trying to think positively there for the first few days and not let my deep intuition get to me and think that he went somewhere else. But then at the divorce proceedings, he had enough nerve to want to ask for my dog. Yeah, that's the kind of guy that my dad is, my biological dad. So there's been a lot of times like those instances where my blood runs cold, but then I have to rise above. Because if you don't, then you're just as evil as that person. How have you dealt with loss in your life? Well, lately I've had lots of loss in my life. You take it day by day, and there's never a day that you don't think, okay, I'm going to pick up the phone and dial to my mom's house and Mike's going to answer. And he'll have that sense of humor on like a bad day, or that you want to tell him something and he isn't there. I go through the same thing with my grandma. Sometimes it's a little harder because, I was the one giving the pills, doing the breathing treatments for her and everything. And she always had a spirit that nobody else had. And you want to tell her, what's going on and, day-to-day stuff. And she would ask about my job because she used to be a telephone operator. And she inspired me to do my job. And she couldn't understand the working from home bit. And she was so scared about how that was going to work out. So, so many things that I want to share with her and I can't. And you can't go to a graveyard and talk to a stone because a stone don't talk back. So if there is something that you want to do or say, don't wait until it's too late. Because I guarantee you, when you want to say something or share something, a stone don't talk back. So if you want to share a picture of how much you miss somebody, or you want to post how much you miss somebody, yeah, you can do that. But know that that's not what that person would really, really want. At least that's not what my grandma expressed she wanted. She said, don't you post that all the time on Facebook? Don't you tell everybody that? Because I don't want people grieving for me after I'm gone. I want them to appreciate me while I'm here. And I want more people to do that with everybody. Don't wait until it's too late to make a difference. Do it now. Okay, next question. How would you graciously turn down an invitation to go out on a date? How would you graciously break up with someone you were dating? I always say honesty is the best policy. And don't be like going along with the person just to satisfy them or just to give them false hope. I think that's the absolute worst thing you can do to a person. Graciously turning down an invitation on a date. I usually say, I have a bunch of responsibilities right now at home, which, I live with my grandpa, and I do have a bunch of responsibilities, and that's not a lie, but he's my top priority. And, of course, we have the animals in the house. We got Peanut, we've got Sammy, and then I have my strays, because I love animals. And I have to really feel attracted to want to go on the date. And honestly, my heart's still broken, and I'm just not even in the realm of dating. How would you graciously break up with someone you were dating? Luckily, I've never been put in that position. When you reflect upon the past, you look at the different situations, and I just never had to break up with anybody. So that it was either cheated on, lied to, manipulated, or went back to their ex, or just don't want to discuss it. On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy do you usually feel, and explain? I don't think anybody's ever really a 10 at being happy. I mean, we try, right? But maybe an 8. That's middle of the road. What is your favorite? Tennis, badminton, volleyball, racquetball, or ping pong? Well, my grandparents own this empty field out here. And when I was younger, we would get a volleyball net, and we tried volleyball for a while, but it didn't go over too well with me. I loved badminton with a little the birdie. That was so awesome, and we would hit that thing back and forth. It was great. I tried tennis. I even have a tennis racket out there in the garage, but I wasn't good at it. Racquetball, never did give that a go. Ping pong. You are looking at the ping pong champ right here. Just saying. We had a ping pong table, and I can remember my grandpa playing ping pong with me, and I can remember my mom and my dad, and just different friends. We would have like little pizza parties, and everybody come over, and we'd gather around the ping pong table and hit that thing like crazy, and it was great. And I always was good at smashing. I loved doing that. It was great. As you fall asleep, do you prefer to be flat on your back, curled up on your side, or on your stomach? What position are you are you in when you wake up? Oh, I guess it's a two-part question. I prefer to be flat on my back or curled on my side, and I should never be on my stomach. As much work Dr. Horvat did, she always advised me not to sleep on my stomach, that it was not good. What position am I usually waking up in? Curled on my side, because Grandpa comes in in the front room and he'll turn on the TV, and I sleep on the couch in the front room because my bedroom feels like an office and it just doesn't have that homey feeling. So therefore, the front room is pretty much my bedroom slash where I feel comfortable. So that's why I sleep in there. Describe a time when you lost something very valuable. How did you feel when you finally found it and or realized where it would never be found? I will tell you, when my grandma got very sick, and it meant so much to me, I had this guardian angel necklace. It was from Angel World Incorporated, pure pewter. And Grandma had made it clear before she took ill that she wanted everybody to have something special for Christmas from her. So the nieces got these like little angel things. My mom got an angel necklace. I got that angel necklace. Grandpa got something and I got something, which was the angel necklace. I had that necklace on me up at Carl in my pocket. To this day, nobody knows anything about where it went or what if it was left up there or nothing, which I don't remember leaving it, but I was so emotional. I still don't know where it's at. I've got the original box to it because it came in a box and everything. And the reason it was so special to me was because Mrs. Brosom, which was our former neighbor on Rudy Avenue, had got me the same angel necklace for my graduation. But that necklace got lost and never found. So this was like a replacement for that necklace, and also to give me hope for the future. That was her main thing. She wanted everybody to have hope. And the necklace got lost. I'm one of these people, I would love to have a replacement, and I've tried finding a replacement. And how am I doing now that it won't ever be found? I always say never. Always leave the benefit of the doubt out there that maybe some good person will say, let's find the original owner. But it'd be a definite long shot because there's no name on it. It's just an angel. But I would love to have it back. In relationships, are you more often the heartbreaker or the heartbroken, and why? Unfortunately, the heartbroken. Various reasons I don't want to get into. What do you dream about most often, and how do you interpret your dreams? I have had some very scary dreams lately. I don't know how to interpret them. At first I thought, okay, it's just because I was losing my tooth. But then it's been more very strange. Like, it's hard to give you an example even. But how do I interpret them? Some I hope never come true because they're that scary. And I always say that if you say them out loud, sometimes that makes them happen, and you don't want to do that. But on a good note, on the good news, like when you have good dreams, you hope that they come true, and you don't want to jinx it by mentioning them either. So I'll leave it at that. I'm going to leave y'all with a see you soon, and keep it tuned to Blonde.Bombshell.